The story takes place in the future. All over the world, many humans have become cyborgs that are called extended. In recent years, there was a great war and many extended became soldiers. After the war, they were left on their own and started doing crimes to survive. That is when we meet Juzo Inui. He is a resolver, an extended bounty hunter who mainly solves crimes committed by other extended. One day, Juzo goes to his office and there he finds a scared extended who is hiding from the security bureau. They have charged him with kidnapping a child called Tetsurō Arahabaki from the Baruran orphanage. This extended is begging Juzo for his help and to protect the boy, and Juzo accepts the task. Juzo takes Tetsurō to a safe location, but they are confronted by a nun who is actually an extended agent called Karen, and she is working for the Baruran Corp. Juzo and the other renegade extended try to protect the boy, but Karen shoots them and takes Tetsurō with her. It is then revealed that Tetsurō was actually controlling the renegade extended with a special device called Harmony. This device was created by Baruran and is implanted within the boy's body. Juzo is furious that this poor boy was experimented on, so he decides to rescue him and attacks the train that is taking him back to the Baruran base of operations. Juzo arrives on the train and starts to destroy it. He fights numerous guards and manages to save Tetsurō. After a while, this attack is blamed on a terrorist organization called Spitsbergen. The news also says that Tetsurō is actually the son of Soichiro Arahabaki, who is the CEO of the Baruran company, but Juzo does not believe this. Juzo and Tetsurō go and meet with Mary Steinberg, who is a mechanic working in the underworld. She repairs some damage done to Tetsuro's body and she gives him certain upgrades, but he is still passed out from the trauma. Juzo goes to search for his favorite cigarettes, but he gets trapped by Cunningham, an agent of Baruran. The cigarettes actually had a poison that made the extended weak and unstable. Cunningham then reveals that Tetsurō truly is the son of Sekiro. He tries to explain that Juzo should give back the boy. Mary arrives and helps Juzo to defeat Cunningham and his men. Cunningham retreats and runs away. Mary and Juzo return to her shop and there Tetsurō finally wakes up. Tetsurō is awake, but he is a bit confused. Mary decides to put a new arm and leg extension on him so that he can move faster. Tetsurō is still unable to walk from all the trauma and injuries. Tetsurō has the Harmony device inside of him, so he cannot speak but only communicates with a headpiece. A man from the QC group arrives to meet with Juzo. This man is named Juan and he has a mission for Juzo. Someone has been attacking children and then removing their extensions and leaving the poor children in comas. Juzo refuses this mission, which angers Tetsurō, who uses his Harmony device and takes over Juzo's body. He then goes to investigate and meets with two girls called End and Anne. They are agents of Baruran and they attack Juzo. End morphs her body into a spider creature and shoots poison at Juzo. Soon enough, End cannot control her body anymore and collapses to the ground. Anne takes End to Cunningham for repairs, but he decides to kill both of them as they have failed their mission. Suddenly, Tetsurō arrives and saves both girls. Tetsurō still does not know how to operate with Juzo's body, so Cunningham sends his bodyguards to attack him. Cunningham figures out that this is his chance to finally get Tetsurō, so he tells End and Anne to attack him. The girls do not want to follow his orders as they see that Tetsurō is saving them. Cunningham then poisons End, which causes her to lose control of her body and become very violent. She gravely injures Anne and then tries to force Tetsurō out of the mind of Juzo. Anne slowly dies and she begs Tetsurō to save her friend End. Tetsurō then tries to use his Harmony powers to control End, but it does not work. Juzo manages to regain control of his own body and he tells Tetsurō that he was awake while he controlled him. Juzo then tells Tetsurō to use his head-mounted gun to shoot End. He releases a giant blast and destroys Enda's extensions. Juzo and Tetsurō have to leave as they are being hunted by everyone. Mary starts working on a way to wake up End and all the children in comas. Juzo and Tetsurō have an argument about him using his body without permission. Juzo forbids the boy from ever doing that again. Tetsurō decides to leave as he thinks it's no longer safe, but Juzo tells him it's better if they stick together. Juzo, Mary, and Tetsuo are invited to dinner by Juzo's landlord, but he refuses the offer. Juzo has a rule to not get emotionally attached to anyone as it will only lead to pain in the future. Juzo then leaves to have some of his body parts fixed. The head of EMS, a police organization watching over ex-military extended, arrives to meet with Juzo. The one is called Olivier, and he takes Juzo and all his friends to be interrogated. The EMS has noticed the giant blast that Juzo fired off days before. Olivier tells Juzo that she will protect his friends, but she needs him to find two EMS criminals. Olivier also reveals that, in fact, they deliver their extended prisoner to Baruran. One of the criminals actually attacks EMS and Juzo, but they manage to stop him. There is only one left. His name is Hayden Gondry, and he is very dangerous. Hayden was the first extended in the military, but he was famous for losing control and killing his own soldiers. He actually murdered Olivier's father. Hayden was locked up for years, but he recently escaped and started to kill once again. Juzo goes to investigate a victim's home, and there he fights Cronin, who is also a bounty hunter. It is then revealed that Hayden is killing a former military extended who worked with him. Juzo figures out the next target will be Mega Armed, the first and strongest extended businessman. Cronin and Juzo go together, and they stop the assassination. They realize that the assassin was not actually Hayden, but just a decoy. Hayden finds Mega armed and faces off against him. Olivia gets suspended from her job as she fails to catch Hayden, and also because she's personally invested in the case. Tetsurō uses his harmony to take over one of the EMS guards while Juzo and Cronin manage to save Mega armed. Hayden goes after them. Cronin realizes that the higher management in EMS wants Hayden dead because they are covering up their crimes. Juzo still goes after Hayden and tries to capture him without killing him. Cronin and Juzo work together and finally catch Hayden. Mega armed then tries to kill all three of them. It is revealed that actually a small girl called Pepper used her harmony to control Hayden, and she was the one who wanted to kill Mega armed. Olivia manages to escape with the help of Tetsurō. Mega armed knocks out Hayden, and then tries to attack Juzo and Cronin. Mega armed knocks out Cronin and tells Juzo that there are 5 members of the extended program who were part of an advanced experiment, but it failed. Hayden went crazy and Mega armed was celebrated as a hero. Juzo and Mega armed fight, but Juzo gets defeated with ease. Juzo has flashbacks to his time in war, and he transforms his body into its true battle form. Juzo now attacks and his power is too much for Mega armed to handle. Olivia and EMS's soldiers arrive and hear Mega armed admit to all of his crimes and that he was behind the killings that Hayden did in the past. Olivia helps Juzo defeat Mega armed once and for all. Juzo and Tetsurō escape before all the EMS authorities arrive. Olivia gives the recording of Mega armed admission to the police, but he thinks that Baruran will protect him. A blast is heard and Mega armed is killed in an instant. He was killed by Gunslave, who is being controlled by Pepper. Wurzel, the Baruran board of directors, is furious at Cunningham for being so messy. Cunningham is then given a new mission and he tells Pepper and Seven to hide in the meantime. Pepper started to be obsessed with Juzo. Meanwhile, Mary moves her clinic to Juzo's building, and there she starts to treat a patient called Colt. Tetsurō thinks that Colt is involved in criminal activities, so he tries to take over his body, but Colt asks him to join his mission. Mary also realizes that the extensions that Colt had were created by her missing brother Victor. Juzo is given another mission to stop Serishigen, who is part of a terrorist group called Spitsbergen. It is then revealed that Colt is also working with that group. Colt is actually taking care of his mother and 2 younger sisters, but he promises to make everything better as he's getting paid a lot of money now. Elsewhere, Juzo catches Serishigen, and it's revealed that the terrorists plan to use Colt to detonate a giant bomb at Mega-armed public funeral. The bomb goes off and panic starts. Mary and Tetsurō arrive and follow Colt. Colt is also placing a bomb on a train that will carry the Baruran executive officers. The detonator gets destroyed, so Colt sets the timer before he is captured. The guards who captured Colt reveal that they knew all about this plot, so they switched the Baruran executives with normal civilians and they will blame the terrorists for the attack. Colt and Tetsurō try to decide the bomb, but Colt gets shot and he soon dies. Juzo returns home and there he finds Pepper, who wants to talk with him. Pepper tells Juzo that she has fallen in love with him and wants to be his master. She then orders Seven to attack Juzo, and in the battle, Juzo loses his arm. Tetsurō arrives just in time and uses his harmony to control Seven, but he cannot maintain the connection. Pepper and Seven escape the situation. Later in the day, Cronin meets with Juzo and warns him to be careful as Baruran is planning something for Tetsurō. Tetsurō reveals that overusing his harmony power can result in something called a resonance. This can cause the harmony user to have the same injuries as the extended he is controlling. Tetsurō is sad that he cannot save more people even with this great power. Juzo then gets hired by another client to protect a girl who is being haunted by a ghost of an extended. Mary joins Juzo on his mission, and they go to the McMahon mansion. They're led by Danny and their client, and they meet with Rosa McMahon. Her parents were killed in a car crash that was caused by Extended. Rosa now thinks that the same Extended is haunting her home. Juzo goes to investigate, and he finds that the ghost is actually just robotic hands. It seems that Danny was the one behind this. He wanted to find something that belonged to Rosa's father, George. It's actually revealed that Danny was behind her parents' death, and the Extended was trying to save her life. Danny then grabs a gun and goes to kill Rosa, but the Extended sacrifices itself to protect her. Juzo saves Rosa and they stop Danny. Rosa starts to realize that the Extended is not all evil. The Extended hands are actually from George, who wanted to protect his daughter after death. And that is the end of part 1. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for part 2 that will be releasing soon.